You have exams coming up. Are you even going to think about scrolling past this video? Well, whoever did, let's take that as natural selection. This is what you're going to do to get 100% in any exam. My name's Tilly, I got all 9s at GCSE, I got 5 A-stars in my A-levels, and there were multiple exams I actually got 100% in. And this is exactly what you need to do to get those grades as well. And by the way, I'm posting my top tips and tricks that you can use for any GCSE or A-level every single day until your exam. Be sure to follow so you don't miss out. One thing that I bang on about all of the time is understanding how marks are allocated in the exam. You need to be able to look at your exam and essentially understand how you're getting marks. Be comfortable with picking marks out of your own answer and be like, yep, I've satisfied assessment objective 2, assessment objective 1. But what I don't tell you is that to get these marks, you essentially need to revise things in a different way. So depending on the subject, the assessment objectives are different, but usually assessment objective 1 is knowledge. This is definition. This is just pieces of information that you need to remember and demonstrate that you know it. Assessment objective 2 is usually applying this to a specific situation, whether this be an essay subject or whether this be a certain topic in science. But then you get to 3 and 4. And in some subjects, there's even more. But let's keep this general. You have assessment objectives for understanding. So we're now going to split our study tasks into understanding and memorization. I've said in previous videos, if you can just remember key definitions and you don't understand anything, you can probably get a pass. By understanding there are knowledge marks available, if you just put a definition down, you'll probably get a mark. But this is linked to understanding. Obviously, to have an understanding of something, you need to have the knowledge of it. But to revise understanding, you need to do this in a different way than you're revising just pure knowledge-based, essentially facts. Okay, so knowledge. Flashcards, you have key definitions, you have key formulas, and you genuinely just do need to remember them. And then this will feed into your understanding. Obviously, you need to know this to understand it. But it's really hard to revise something that needs understanding by using just flashcards and the same study techniques that you use to remember short pieces of information. Short pieces of info, you can use memory tricks, flashcards, the Howell system, essentially revision by association. But this breaks down when you're trying to remember a process and understand the process. Because the examiners aren't stupid. They can tell if you've just regurgitated information or if you've effectively applied it to a new setting or a specific question. To effectively understand something, I highly recommend using the Feynman technique. I've got so many videos on this, but in brief, it's the idea of taking a topic or a concept and explaining it to somebody else, which is incredibly helpful if you have another person there because they will ask you questions. And you might be like, oh, I actually don't know the answer to this question. Demonstrates you don't understand it. And to get top marks in exams, you need to thoroughly understand everything, but you also need to give the examiner what they want in terms of these key definitions, in terms of these formulas. Look, this is the same for any subject. If you've got a good paragraph structure for history, and you know all of the content, and you know exactly how to hit all of the assessment objectives, there is no way you can do badly. Similarly though, with maths, you might know the definition for a formula, but have no idea how to apply that process to a new situation.